Right, so I wanted to talk to you about this article that I wrote recently on and posted on Substack about are credit card rewards really worth the true cost? Y'all, this is Terry here from Money Matters for Everybody, and I wanted to hop on and do a quick recording today. I'm terrible with technology. I think I'm getting too old for this. But I wanted to talk to you a little bit about an article I recently posted on Substack, and it's a gorgeous day outside, so I was not going to record inside today because it's so nice outside. And I hope that if it's just as gorgeous where you are, that you will spend some time and get outside. Please. All right, so I wanted to talk to you about this article that I wrote recently on and posted on Substack about are credit card rewards really worth the true cost? Tim and I had used credit cards for, well, all of our marriage. We've been married over 20 years, as I probably have previously mentioned. So we are dinosaurs, of course. And it wasn't until about the past year to two that I finally realized that credit card rewards made it look like we were winning at the expense of other people losing. And that reality really did sting quite a bit. So we don't do that anymore. But a couple of years ago, I was listening to a conversation on Dave Ramsey's show about the true cost of credit card rewards. The credit card industry is a multi-million, if not billion-dollar industry, and the ways that they make money are various, but on average, each card holder costs them about $180 each. So you might be really good at sticking to a budget and keeping your costs in check, using your charge card and paying the balance in full each month. But somewhere out there is somebody else who's struggling and using their charge card because they don't feel as though they have any other option. So maybe a mom, maybe a single mom who's charging groceries to feed her children because she doesn't have another option. And we made the decision that we weren't going to continue that practice of taking advantage of the system that was suppressing so many other people. And we've heard people say, like, people would charge anyway, credit card rewards would exist anyway, the credit card companies are going to win. Why shouldn't I get a little bit of a reward for being responsible and paying my statement balance in full each month? And listen, if that's your thing, I just am going to ask you to maybe just consider it for a second. Maybe consider that you're winning at the expense of someone else losing. But there was another piece that I wanted to talk about a couple months ago. I had written an article about cash is king. Cash really is king. And again, for the longest time, Tim and I spent about 2 years, from about 2018 to 2020, hustling to get out of debt. And we were still using a credit card. We'd put together our budget each month and we would charge and we'd rack up those points, right? Those rewards. And we would pay the statement and balance in full each month. And I thought, there's no difference. But then I challenged Tim and we challenged ourselves to start paying cash for things that we purchased locally. So gasoline in our cars, food for our dogs. We do try to support the local economy. It doesn't mean I don't support Walmart, okay? But we try to support our local economy. So I don't buy dog food from Chewy. I buy dog food from the local dog food store. I don't buy my chicken feed, online. I buy it at the local chicken feed store. So I think it challenged us to do that and to see if we could get by with spending less money. And it worked. So we would go to the bank at the beginning of the month, in the middle of the month, and we'd take out a set amount of money And we would use that money and make it last. So from the 1st to the 15th, we had to make that money last. And then from the 15th to the 30th, we had to make it last again, repeat. And any money left over can kind of get stuffed into a fund for fun. But I think that ultimately, when there's a cash transaction, your brain processes it differently than if it's charging a charge card. So I'm just here to say that, and maybe give it a try. Maybe have a month where you don't use your charge card, you only use cash. And if you can't buy something paying for cash, maybe you try to forego it that month. Just try to challenge yourself. I mentioned it this weekend. The areas that you're intentional are the areas that you're going to grow, right? So try it. Try something new. And then the other thing I wanted to kind of challenge you to think about, if you are in debt, I want you to write down how much you're paying to your lenders each month. How much are you paying to the lender this month? Not your mortgage. I'm talking about your car loans, your student loans, your credit card bills, anything else you owe outside of your mortgage. When you get that number together, I want you to think about what you would do with that money each month if you didn't have to pay the lender. What would you do with it? I want to hear what you do with it. What would the impact be to your overall bottom line at the end of the month? So I know for us, when we had car loans and student loans, we were paying about $1,200 a month to the lender, $1,200 to $1,400, I would say. Now that money, since we're not paying it to the lender, now that money, part of that money is actually going towards my mortgage, to our mortgage. It's our mortgage. And part of that money we bumped up. Obviously, you get to baby steps 4, 5, and 6. You're bumping your investments up to 15%. So that makes that transition easier because you're not paying a lender. But I want you to think about what you would do. I want you to write down what you pay to the lender each month. And I want you to write down what you would do with that money instead. How much is it a month? How much is it in a year? And what would you do with that money instead? Okay, that's all for today. So I hope that you have a wonderful day, and I hope you get outside if you have just as gorgeous weather as we do here. I hope you spend some time and get outside, go for a nice walk. And my new favorite saying, get to work.